Hi, this is Rajeshwari, Assistant Professor of English. In today's session, let's discuss a poem, The Justice of the Peace. It's written by Hilaire Belloc. Hilaire Belloc was an Anglo-French writer and historian. He was one of the most prolific writers in England during the 20th century. He began his literary career with verses and sonnets in 1895. Belloc satirizes his society in most of his poems. He was president of the Oxford Union and later an MP for Salford from 1906 to 1910. Let's look into the poem. The poem, The Justice of the Peace, can be called as a dramatic monologue. Dramatic monologue is a kind of a poetry. Here, single speaker addresses silent listener. Here, the title of the poem, The Justice of the Peace, refers to a lay magistrate or the local magistrate in the UK who is appointed to hear minor cases. Ironically, in front of this magistrate, the speaker justifies economical inequalities and social injustice of his society. The poem, The Justice of the Peace, satirically represents the inequalities between the rich and the poor and the money and the social status. The poem is divided into 3 stanzas and each stanza consists of 6 lines. Let's see the first stanza of the poem. Distinguish carefully between the two. This thing is yours, the other thing is mine. You have a shirt, a brimless hat, a shoe, and half a coat. I am the Lord benign of 50 acres of fat land to which I have a right. You understand? The first stanza of this poem clearly conveys the discrimination between the rich and the poor, and also it echoes the superior voice of the speaker. Here, the speaker represents the society of rich or money, and the silent listener represents the society of poor or the lower status. The words shirt, brimless hat, shoe, and a half coat, these are the belongings of the silent listener, the poor listener. I am the Lord benign of 50 acres of fat land to which I have a right. Here, the speaker is a landlord and he addressed himself as benign. Benign means kind or gentle. So he addressed himself as kind and gentle. This is the irony of this poem. Let's see the second stanza of the poem. I have a right because I have, because I have a right. Now be quite calm and good. Obey the laws. Remember your low station. Do not fight against the God, because you know it pricks whenever the uncleanly demos kicks. Here, the landlord continuously reminds the poor that his limited choice in the society, and also the speaker demands the poor listener to be calm and orders him to obey the laws of the rich. The landlord's commanding voice asks him to remember his low station. The word God means spiked stick, which is used for driving cattle. So, if the poor man is not able to obey the rules and regulations of the rich, he may get hurt by the God. This line or these words symbolizes the punishment which is given by the society of rich to the poor for their disobedience. Whenever these demos or common people, demos means common people, so whenever these demos or the common people disobeys the words of the rich, the people might be getting hurt by the spiked stick. Let's see the last stanza of the poem. I do not envy you your hat or shoe. Why should you envy me my small estate? It's fearfully illogical in you to fight with economic force and fate. Moreover, I have got the upper hand and mean to keep it. Do you understand? First two lines of this third stanza again shows the superior tone of the speaker or the landlord. These two lines are the good example of satire or irony of this poem. Small Estate points out that the 50 acres of the fat land, the landlord or the speaker demands the poor listener to be satisfied by the fate or his destiny, and he emphasized that it would not be logical if the poor fighting against the rich. The upper hand of the rich is evident throughout the poem. The speaker challenges his opponent or the poor with the strength of his money and the social status. Thus, Hilaire Belloc emphasized the concept of economic and social inequality in the society through the poem The Justice of the Peace. Hope you all understood the poem. Thanks for listening.